Hey everyone, what's up? Sam here with another review for Backlot 605. Today we're going to be talking about James Gunn's The Suicide Squad, which hits theaters in the US this weekend, and also simultaneously is streaming on HBO Max. The Suicide Squad is written and directed by James Gunn. It stars Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, John Cena, and many other actors, some of which are very familiar if you're a fan of Gunn's work, in this massive cast of characters that you are just going to fall in love with, despite the marketing telling you not to. The Suicide Squad, much like its predecessor, Suicide Squad from 2016, follows a group of D-list supervillains as they're forced by Amanda Waller to go on a mission that could potentially kill them. The comics are full of anarchy and violence and humor, and that's something that I knew going into this movie that Gunn was really good with. I love both of his Guardians of the Galaxy movies. Slither and Super are both tremendous, and some of the work he's written and produced over the years is excellent. I'm a big Gunn fan, and so I had a lot of faith that his R-rated take on the Suicide Squad was going to be something that I loved. And quite frankly, yeah, this movie lived up to all of my expectations and then exceeded them. It's a ton of fun. It's over the top. It's insanely violent. It's gory. It's funny. It's dark. It's heartfelt. This movie, with its big cast of characters, you would think that, there's so much going on. How are you going to get attached to any of these characters? And you do. In a very short amount of screen time, James Gunn makes these characters pop off the screen. Their interactions with each other are great. There's just a bunch of great dramatic and comedic actors coming together for something that really feels unique for a big blockbuster of this size. Like I said before, this movie is insanely gory to the point where it's essentially like James Gunn made a $150 million trauma movie. The gore is over the top, and it's practical. There's CGI, like with everything, but you can tell that these are mostly in-set practical effects. I gotta be honest with you guys, I'm not an eyeball gore fan, but I don't think I can say that anymore after watching a glorious piece of eyeball gore in this movie. It's one for the record books. I love everything about the violence, the anarchy. It's exactly how the Suicide Squad is on paper. These characters are incredible. The cast rounds out every single character. There's not a weak link among them. But standouts, obviously, Margot Robbie's Harley Quinn. We've seen her twice before. She's great. She's great in this. Gunn knows how to write her. This might be my favorite use of Harley Quinn. It's very anarchic. There's a point in the movie where it's just Harley for about 10 minutes, and it's just some of the most entertaining stuff in this movie. John Cena's Peacemaker, who's getting his own HBO Max spin-off, he's incredible. This guy is like if Michael Myers decided to be Captain America. He's a brutal psychopath who has no remorse for what he does. And it's legitimately insane to watch John Cena embody this role so well. This is by far my favorite of his performances. And he just really gets time to shine with Gunn's writing. Daniella Melkier is Ratcatcher 2, and she's really the heart of this movie. She's mostly unknown, and she's not going to be after this movie. She's just heartfelt, she's sweet. She doesn't really feel like she belongs with the squad because you don't get the sense that she's necessarily a violent person. And it still works. Her context within the group, she's a valued member, and in fact is actually the glue that kind of holds the group together. Very, very moving performance by Daniella Melkier. I hope she has a long career ahead of her after this. Obviously, Gunn decided to also bring back Viola Davis and Joel Kinnaman as Amanda Waller and Rick Flag. Viola Davis was great in Suicide Squad. She's great here. Her Amanda Waller is very ruthless. I'm uncomfortable every time she's on screen because she will go to any lengths to get what she needs. And Viola Davis just plays that so chillingly to a T. While Joel Kinnaman was not my favorite part of 2016's Suicide Squad, he's one of my favorite parts of the Suicide Squad. He is very much a more relaxed, maybe naive Rick Flag. He's got a lot of good comedic moments. Joel Kinnaman has never been an actor that's totally popped for me, and here he pops. I mean, I don't know if it's Gunn's writing and direction that's kind of helped him, but this is by far the best we've ever seen of Joel Kinnaman, and I hope that we get more performances like this from him going forward. King Shark, obviously great. I love King Shark. Weirdly enough, he's not even, maybe even in my top 3 favorite characters, though. That's how good this movie is. He's got a lot of funny moments. He's got a few heartfelt ones, but mostly he's there to eat people, and there's some glorious shots with him. The scene from the trailer, the shot of him ripping the person in half, it's just as gorgeous and awesome in the movie as it was in the trailer. And yeah, you're going to walk away loving King Shark. But my absolute favorite of all this cast is David Dastmalchian's Polka Dot Man. James Gunn took a character who is like bottom of the barrel. I mean, scraping bottom of the barrel. No one knows anything about Polka Dot Man. He's a joke. And he turned it into a genuinely moving character and a great character arc that David Dastmalchian just nails. This guy has been a character actor for, his big breakout was The Dark Knight. And ever since then, he has always been interesting. I loved him hosting the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. He's great in the Ant-Man movies. He's got that chilling performance in Prisoners. I mean, this guy is incredible. And here he brings this ridiculous character to life in a way that just makes you fall in love with him and just want to give him a hug. I mean, this guy has had such a tough life, and he's maybe the most willing to be in the Suicide Squad because he's ready for it to just end already. And I fell in love with Polka Dot Man. He's my favorite. I hope this isn't the last we see of him, but I don't know. You never know with this. So, guys, this movie is gory, it's gruesome, it's really darkly humorous. If you don't like any of this stuff, you're not gonna like this movie because it's messy, it's in your face, it's very, very violent, but this also feels like Gunn at his most unfiltered. This feels like him at the height of his talents and at his most creatively free. I totally believe that Warner Brothers just let him run wild because there is no way that anything in this movie was studio mandated. It's got Gunn's fingerprints all over it. The finale the trailers spoiled it, Starro the Conqueror. It's very clear that James Gunn loves this character because he's got a massive role in this third act, and he's used so well. I really dug what Gunn was doing with that. Honestly, I can't even really think of a negative for this movie. It's everything I wanted and then some. I've heard it compared to the Guardians movies just with an R rating. I've even heard it compared to Tarantino because of its non-linear storytelling, and I don't think either of those comparisons are even close to accurate. This is very much a James Gunn film. There's nothing that you've seen that's like this. I can't believe this is a Warner Brothers tentpole movie with all of the stuff that's in here, and it's one of the most daring and creative blockbusters that I've seen in a long time. I absolutely adored it, and guys, this is gonna be the first movie this year that I do this, but I am going to give The Suicide Squad a 5 out of 5. Like I said, this movie works for me. If you're a fan of James Gunn, if you're a fan of his old stuff and his new stuff, you're going to love it because it takes everything from his career that he has learned and it compiles it into something that is so unique and bold. And I'm going to say it, this is James Gunn's masterpiece. Anyways, guys, that's my thoughts on The Suicide Squad. If you like this, if you want to see more, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have weekly podcasts on movies. Right now we are doing M. Night Shyamalan month. So you can check out those episodes on our Backlot YouTube channel here, as well as more movie reviews. Thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you soon on the Backlot.